Hi, welcome to People in the News. I'm Paula Zahn. Paris Hilton is the definition of what it means to be a celebutante. It's a word recently coined to describe a certain type of celebrity and the phenomenon of fame today. Sure, Paris has that famous last name, and sure, she's the star of her own reality TV show. The second season of The Simple Life debuted earlier this week. But why are we so obsessed with her? And how has the idea of fame changed over the years? Some answers from Bruce Burkhardt, but first a warning. Some of the following material is of an adult nature.
She's the New York City socialite who's become one of the most recognizable celebrities in the world.
She's clearly an it girl. There's something about her that draws you in, at the same time that she's sort of the outrageous party girl.
The public looks at that and they say, oh, that's the most despicable thing. Look at her posing for that camera. But at the same time, it's such eye candy and you can't help looking.
I see her as kind of like the expert of vapor fame. If Andy Warhol were still alive, he'd kind of be worshiping at her shrine. She's taken what he was doing to the extreme level where she's famous really for doing nothing.
She commands front row seats at top fashion shows and enjoys ample exposure on covers of popular magazines.
She loves being photographed. She has pictures of herself in magazine covers that she keeps with her. She's obsessed with fame and with being in the public eye.
You'll find her at movie premieres, on the arms of actors and pop star boyfriends, and in the VIP section of the trendiest nightclubs.
We see her partying, dancing up on tabletops. This is not a shrinking violet.
And last year, even more exposure on the internet.
I think there's not one human being in this country that did not get that sex tape forwarded to him or her on their computers.
And if you've missed her social misadventures or red carpet arrivals, you probably have seen her splashed on gossip pages. She's become a fixture on the New York Post's page 6.
We got a lot of complaints from readers who would say, I don't understand why you keep writing about this girl. She's never done anything. She hasn't accomplished anything. All she does is go to parties. Well, it turns out we were right. She's a character, and she is interesting in her own right, even though she hasn't won a Nobel Prize or anything. People want to watch her.
Where's Paris? The public may see a lot of Paris, but they don't often hear from her. She does some press, appearing recently on The Late Show with David Letterman.
Was there a time when you guys lived in New York City, the two
We
of
used to live at the Waldorf.
Yeah. Ooh. It seemed like you would always be going to parties. Is that accurate? Is that a fair description?
Well, when we were younger, it was fun. Like, what other teenagers invited to all these parties wouldn't go?
Right.
So we did.
But all in all, Paris seems to shy away from interviews. She declined our request for one.
Paris Hilton.
Paris Hilton.
Paris Hilton continues on the grand tradition that we love here in America of celebrities who are famous because they're famous.
Why is Paris in the spotlight? How did she get there? What does her celebutante status say about America's fascination with fame?
I have found increasingly in our society today that fame and infamy are merging. People are getting recognized for not doing anything.
Last year, the camera-loving hotel heiress parlayed her social exploits into a hit reality show. Fox's The Simple Life transplanted Paris and her celebutante sidekick, Nicole Richie, from Manhattan's social scene to an Arkansas farm.
Do y'all want to help me pluck some chickens?
I'll vomit.
Some of the best television is when you put someone in a fish out of water situation. Because there's this fascination with celebrity in America today, we felt that it would be even a better concept if the two people we sent were celebrities.
Pig's feet.
The concept worked.
Ugh.
The show was a ratings bonanza, and the celeb, famous for party hopping, nabbed another season on the hit TV series. In The Simple Life 2,
Hi.
the spoiled socialites leave their lavish lifestyles behind again and take a 30-day cross-country road trip without cash, credit cards, cell phones, or boyfriends.
They get to see Paris and Nicole, two girls who have never traveled across America, who've never stayed in an RV park.
Is this a real trailer park? Yes.
Sort of slum their way across America.
We don't have any money. Where? Sir, do you have 75 cents?
Slumming, a strange concept for the heiress with the very famous last name. As the great-granddaughter of hotel czar Conrad Hilton, Paris Hilton grew up in the lap of luxury, from posh Beverly Hills estates to her great-grandfather's Park Avenue Hotel.
When she was a teenager, she moved to New York. She had this sweet pad at the Waldorf Astoria, and all of a sudden, everyone became fascinated by her because who was this really cute girl living in one of the top hotels in the city, going out of her night, getting in trouble.
Paris barely made it through high school and finally finished with a private tutor. The older daughter of real estate tycoon Richard Hilton and his wife Kathy, and sister to fellow socialite and model Nikki, she made her public debut in a graphic 2000 Vanity Fair spread.
I remember this one photo very clearly of Paris Hilton laying on the ground wearing a bikini top that was sort of gone askew, so she was essentially topless.
The explicit photos got tongues a-wagging. Paris began modeling for famous designers and gave acting a shot. She took a bit part in the horror flick 9 Lives.
I'm never at home, unless I'm in London or New York or Paris or LA.
Made cameos as herself in Zoolander.
You rule.
Thanks, Paris. I appreciate that.
And later, The Cat in the Hat. But Paris continued to gain most of her notoriety by cruising New York clubs, hobnobbing with celebs, and posing.
Paris sought out the glare of the paparazzi, and they in turn have followed her down the red carpet. She comes alive in front of the cameras. Cameras come alive in front of her.
Coming up, Paris overexposed. From party girl to internet porn star.
Here's an incident that could probably ruin another person, but yet for her, she sort of parlayed it into this Uber fame.
And the drive for fame and fortune doesn't fall far from the family tree.
Zsa Zsa basically predates Paris. She would have been the Paris of her day.
We now return to People in the News.
There she is, on the carpet, on the runway, in the headlines. Paris Hilton. That look, that attitude, that name.
I don't think anybody would have paid much attention to Paris Hilton if her name were Mildred Klump.
From cameos on shows like Las Vegas.
Actually, I love Vegas.
To her very own reality TV series.
My boobs look huge in this.
Paris, the heiress, has taken the Hilton name beyond hotels.
She wants to be famous. She's someone who loves the limelight.
If Paris loves the limelight, she is only carrying on a long family tradition.
One thing that's intriguing about Paris Hilton is that she comes from a rich family that traditionally had a kind of hankering for some larger sense of fame.
Conrad Hilton, Paris's great-grandfather, family patriarch and founder of the Hilton Hotel Empire. Conrad built his empire from the ground up. His first purchase was nothing more than a flop house in Cisco, Texas, but its success led to Hilton's first major hotel in Dallas. From there, not even the Depression could stop it.
Business travelers were one of his primary clientele. He charged a minimum price for maximum service and had low rates from $1.50 to $3 a night.
By 1941, Conrad had been married and divorced. He had 3 sons, Nick, Eric, and Paris's grandfather, Baron. The budding hotel magnate had also expanded to the West Coast. With his acquisition of the townhouse in Los Angeles, Conrad entered the world of Hollywood celebrity, and he set out to enjoy life, a life of beautiful women and lots of dancing.
He loved to dance. He liked to keep a very busy schedule, and that schedule could very much include going out to dinner with a young lady and dancing in one of the nightclubs.
At one particular nightclub, Conrad met and fell in love with a young Hungarian beauty queen. Her name, Zsa Zsa Gabor. A few months after their first dance, Conrad proposed. His friends were shocked. They said Zsa Zsa was a gold digger, but Hilton ignored their advice.
Conrad definitely set the tone for the family. He was loaded, he created this huge chain, and he married Zsa Zsa Gabor. From then on, the Hiltons have pretty much been sort of coexisting between the world of the wealthy and the world of the Hollywood celebrity.
Conrad would soon come to regret his marriage to Zsa Zsa. It was a rocky union from the start.
He was very much into business. He operated with budgets. He felt the budget should apply to the home as well, whereas Zsa Zsa's ideas were very different.
Conrad and Zsa Zsa divorced in 1946. Single again, Hilton set his sights on some of America's greatest hotels, landmarks in San Francisco, Chicago, and ultimately New York. He bought the Plaza and later the hotel of his dreams, the Waldorf Astoria, a Park Avenue address that great-granddaughter Paris would one day call home.
And that was his proudest moment, and it was his favorite hotel.
By the 1950s and 60s, Hilton hotels had gone international, and Conrad had become one of the world's richest men. But it was Conrad's eldest son, Nick, who was making a name for himself now. Like his father, Nick was a man about town. He had an eye for the ladies. And in the Hilton tradition, he had a passion for celebrity. In 1950, Nick briefly married 18-year-old Elizabeth Taylor.
Conrad Hilton married Zsa Zsa Gabor for several years in the 1940s. Nicky Hilton married Elizabeth Taylor. So it's almost like a family tradition to not only be rich, but also to strive for some other status in the public eye, that status of fame.
From Conrad to Nick to Paris, the Hiltons have always been in the public eye. Their successes, their failures, their loves and their losses, all the stuff of headlines and gossip columns. More than wealthy, they are the celebrity rich, the toast of what was once called cafe society.
Cafe society was a world that grew out of the speakeasies of Prohibition, and when Prohibition was over, continued into the nightclubs of the new era. And what cafe society was a coming together of three groups. One was show business, one was the rich, and the other was gangsters. And this is the 20s and 30s and 40s when the gossip column becomes a major part of the media.
Profits and parties. The Hiltons, it's often been as much about fame as fortune. One no less important, no less desired than the other.
These two worlds very often intersect. So Paris being in the spotlight and sort of crossing the line between rich and Hollywood is not really a surprise.
Coming up on People in the News, how much is too much?
We have really set a record pace in building and manufacturing celebrities, from reality TV to the Paris Hiltons of the world.
Celebrity, the media, and our obsession with the famous and the infamous when we return.
Welcome back to People in the News.
Green Acres is the place to be.
Green Acres. Two wealthy socialites head for the sticks in search of the country life, the simple life. Sound familiar?
Darling, I love you, but give me Park Avenue.
Oh my God.
40 years later, Paris Hilton and pal Nicole Richie are two fish out of water in a reality series takeoff of the famous 60s sitcom. Coincidence? Perhaps, but the parallels don't stop there. Green Acres star Ava Gabor is the sister of Zsa Zsa Gabor, the second wife of Conrad Hilton, Paris's great-grandfather.
The interesting thing is that Zsa Zsa is really the precursor of Paris and her sister, so in a sense maybe there's some kind of psychic genetic thing that was passed on.
Zsa Zsa and Paris, generational twins of a sort, poor little rich girls, famous mostly for simply being famous.
I think the whole celebutante phenomenon is just the most recent version of something that's been going on for almost 100 years. There were people like Gloria Vanderbilt or Peggy Hopkins Joyce in the 30s and 40s. That is, the children of the rich were a particular object of interest because they hadn't done anything to be rich except be born.
Our fascination with the rich and famous is obviously ingrained in our culture, from the flappers who roared with abandon in the 1920s to the party-hopping socialites of today. But the phenomenon of celebrity is ever evolving, ever shifting. Where we once hailed accomplishment, we now seem more focused on the trials and tribulations of our celebrities.
I think that there's been a real shift in media now. I take it back actually to the O.J. trial. where O.J. was a celebrity, but then he became really known for the notorious aspect of his life. Then you had people who became known strictly for notoriety. And that's when you had the Heidi Fleises and the Monica Lewinskis and the Bobbitts.
Fame hasn't only become more scandalous, it's also become more salacious.
If anything has changed in the idea of the poor little rich girl right now, and if Paris Hilton exemplifies anything, it's really the injection of more sexuality.
Paris Hilton perhaps became forever linked with sex and scandal last year when an X-rated video she made with her former boyfriend, Rick Solomon, surfaced on the internet. Later, Solomon released and personally hosted a full DVD of the couple's steamy romp entitled One Night in Paris. The video was certainly revealing, certainly embarrassing, but it was in no way career-ending.
I actually think she's sort of put that behind her and has come out on top. I mean, Rick Solomon is the one that looks really sleazy now.
Barry, how'd I get to be so lucky?
Paris Hilton was just a deb on the red carpet until that video ended up on the internet.
With the internet and the explosion of other outlets, with so many avenues to peek at the celebrities' lives, the media of the 21st century has made nearly all of us voyeurs to some extent.
With the advent of 24-hour cable TV and the 24/7 news cycle combined with the wired world of the internet, it has really speeded things up, and celebrities are increasingly sought after. They have a shorter shelf life.
For her part, Paris seems to have moved on from the scandal surrounding her much-viewed video. She even joked about it on Saturday Night Live.
Is the Paris Hilton roomy?
It might be for you, but most people find it very comfortable.
But why are we often so willing to forgive our celebrities when they get into trouble?
The public loves its celebrities. They love to build them up, then they love to knock them down, and then they love to bring them back up again, because it's basically like a soap opera being run in real life.
We made the chicken! The hell are y'all doing?
Making sausages.
Bend over.
And the soap opera that is Paris Hilton's life is back, playing out on national TV.
Just smush it. Cover it like a cat box.
The heiress has re-teamed with Nicole Richie for The Simple Life 2.
Is there one bed?
Both of us have to sleep there.
Yes.
With the dogs.
And this time, Paris and Nicole have hit the road, taking in America and letting America take them in, one trailer park at a time.
I think they're a natural comedic team. Often Paris is the straight person and Nicole is the one with the sort of outrageous lines, and Paris is laughing at it. They're sort of like a modern-day Lucy and Ethel.
Everyone needs to pull over.
Paris and Nicole, a modern-day Lucy and Ethel. Reality TV stars for sure, but do it girls like Paris Hilton ever really last?
Paris Hilton's celebrity can probably last a really long time. It's just going to be a matter of somebody else outrageous and beautiful and whatever coming and eclipsing her.
Hi, how are you?
For now, Paris is just being Paris. She's still hitting the red carpet, still vamping for the cameras, and she's still shocking. Yes, for now, the world's most famous celebutante is doing what she does best.
Paris is great because she's not ashamed of the fact that she doesn't have to work, and she actually enjoys the fact that she can go to parties and do nothing but have fun.
There are stars out there who have lasting appeal. Then you have the flavors of the month. And that just kind of gets recycled and recycled and recycled. And I think that Paris Hilton and people of her ilk fit into that strata of recyclable celebrity.
Paris has accomplished that goal to be famous at age 21. Let's see where Paris is when she's 31.
Paris Hilton is also venturing into music and publishing. Her first record is due out in August, and her first book, Confessions of an Heiress, a tongue-in-cheek peek behind the pose, is expected to hit bookshelves in September.